Hey friends, Andrea here. I just wanted to make a video, a super quick card, and I'm gonna do an Easter card, and I just wanted to show you some examples of some that are already finished. And this is just using a tiny little strip of paper. In this case, these were the offcuts from cutting my cards, my paper, a 12 by 12 paper. And usually when I cut my 12 by 12 paper down, I make 6 rectangles that are 4 by 5 1/4 inches long, and then I have a strip left that's about 1.5 inches long, or 1.5 inches wide by 12 inches long, and then I can cut that and get another 5 1/4 and another basically 2 5 1/4s and then a little bit of extra. So that gives me enough card or cardstock to make basically 8 cards. And then the extra little squares I do use, I either paper punch them, I punch out little circles or little hearts, or I use them in other ways. So I also decorated these with some stamped images, some stickers, and some glue, some glitter glue, and some washi. So I have the washi here, and on this one I didn't use washi, and you can do it either or. I just thought that that would kind of tie it together a little bit more, but you don't have to use it. So I'm showing you both versions. And so before I get started, I will give you a bit of a supplies list. So if you want to make this yourself, you can, and I'm just going to walk you through in real time. I'm not going to speed anything up. So to make this card, I started out with my pre-cut paper from a 12 by 12 sheet of cardstock. What I did was cut it into 5 1/4 by 4 inches, and then I took one of those and I cut them in half, so it's 2 inches by 2 inches by 5 1/4. So now I have this little strip that I'm going to use. I stamped my image ahead of time on a 2 inch by 2 inch square, and that's the size of the stamp. And I don't remember where I got this stamp, but I'm pretty sure from Michael's, because it's Studio G, and I think that's their generic brand. But it just says "Somebody loves you," and after I cut that down, 2 by 2 and stamped it, I made a little mat that is 2 1/4 by 2 1/4, so it's perfectly 1/8 of an inch around a border around it. So I've got those pieces, and I'll put those aside for now. Those are going to go into my final card. And then I have, to make my card base, I have an 8.5 by 11 sheet of cardstock. This is kind of the thicker cardstock, and I cut it in half. So it's cut in half across the longest side, and that gives me 2 sheets of paper that are 5.5 by 8.5. And when I fold the 8.5 inch side down, right here, this one is 8.5 inches, it's going to give me a card base that is 5.5 by 4 1/4, and that is an exact A2 sized card. So I'm just going to do this and fold my card in real time, and I usually use a bone folder. I usually score it ahead of time, but I'm just kind of showing you that you don't need to score it ahead of time. You can just use a bone folder, or even use your fingernail. Just make sure your hands are clean. So I've got my card base, and I've got my card decorative paper, and I just picked a really bright, fun polka dot, and then this is a little pastel pink. This was a little scrap that I just had. It's not pastel pink, it's kind of like a peachy. And it was a little scrap. You can see that it's not, it's got a little wear and tear, but it's okay. So I'm going to use that, and I won't need this anymore. And then I have some tape, my dot adhesive. This is my favorite Tombow Mono dot adhesive. You could use whatever you have, glue stick or any other glue ATG gun. So I just like this because it's not a liquid glue, and it performs really well. It sticks really well. And then I have some Stickles Stardust glitter glue. This is really nice for just adding a little bit of sparkle. And I have some sticker books, a few different sticker books that I, pulled out of my stash. I am a sticker hoarder, so I have a lot. And I just picked out all the ones that had sort of an Easter theme. And I will set those aside, and I'll come back and look at the stickers later. Now I could bring some washi in, and I do have some washi kind of set aside, but I'm going to wait until I decide when I'm decorating it, until I see what stickers I want to pick out, and then I will see if I want to add washi. So for now, I'm just going to get started. So really all you need are to have these pre-cut items ready to go, and then you'll need your glue and your stickers and your decorative elements, and that could just be gems, it could be glitter glue, it could be washi, whatever it is that you want to make. It's a really simple card. So we'll get started. I'm going to go ahead and just glue it down, and I start with the biggest piece first. The biggest element here is this kind of like colored cardstock. I always do across the outer edges of the cardstock just to get a good stick, and I'm not going to worry about in the middle. And I want to put this on the fold, close to the fold, but I'm going to leave enough of a border that it gives me just about 1/8 of an inch border on all 3 sides. So when I place it down, I'm just kind of eyeballing it, and I use my finger and my thumb to sort of like hold it in place before I actually stick it down. And I'm not really sticking it down, I'm more like putting it in at an angle to figure out where I want it. And then when I have it kind of like held in place with my fingers, that's when I'll actually place it down onto the cardstock, so I get a good border on all 3 sides. So that's done. Now if I wanted to, I could go ahead and add some washi here, and I have a couple of colors of washi that I already set aside, so I'll go ahead and grab those and just show you what I'm talking about. And bear with me, my desk is kind of messy, so I tried to pull these things aside. So I have some pink skinny washi. I have a green glitter, that's nice. I have a green polka dot. I have kind of a lime green. I used this on some cards as a grass color. This is a nice like kind of teal blue. Another green, it's slightly different than that one. I do have a yellow polka dot, which I'm not going to use. And I have an orange, and just because I'm going to use this, I don't really think this orange goes, but I do think that I like this green glitter just to give it some fun. So I'm going to do that, and I don't have to, but I just happen to have this, and I'm trying to use what I have. I'm trying to use up my stash. So I found the edge here. And one of the things that I could do is I could make sure that my washi has the same 1/4 inch border on the same, exact length. Or I could put it down and then just cut it off on the ends. And then it will go from end to end and not be cut off with that 1/4 inch border. It doesn't really matter. It's personal style choice. So I think to make things simpler for myself, and for anybody who's new to card making, I'm just going to glue it or stick it down. And I'm putting it down right against the border. And notice I unrolled it enough to be able to have control over this end. And then I'm holding it down with one hand, holding down my card base and like aligning the washi to that cut edge of my paper. And then I can press it down with one hand while also you know, wiggling it around with my other hand that's in control of it to get it to lay down nice and evenly. And then, oh, I forgot to mention on the supplies list that you will need some scissors. So I'm going to take these are some like detail cutting scissors. I'm going to go ahead and cut off the excess that I'm not using here. And I always leave a little bit of a tail just because sometimes that very end of the washi is not as sticky, and I find that I get a better stick when it's, you know, pressed down all the way. So anyway, there it is. It's good looking to me. I'm going to take a look at my stickers, see what I have in here that I want to use. And I know I want to use a bunny sticker. So I'm looking for, I actually kind of really like this blue bunny. But this one's cute too. I just like this blue one because there's ever so slight amount of that peach color, or maybe it's an orange, on his polka dot belly. And but I don't know, maybe I'll just do some eggs. I'm just not sure what I want to do. This is super cute, isn't he? Cute, this little booty. There's a few other little cute little guys on this one. And this is the exact same sticker sheet, so I don't know if I want to go in that direction. I feel like if I did use this, then I'm incorporating some purple in there that it isn't already in there. So I think I'm gonna put this one back and take a look at this sticker book. And I know I used a lot of these bunnies on some other cards, and I don't really have to put a bunny on there, to be honest. I could just do something else. Could use a little chick instead. Okay, this guy has some pink and an orange carrot and the green. And to me, that seems like it's the most compatible color combination, but I'm noticing that if I was to put him down, there'd be a little place where it'd overlap with the washi, and then it might not stick well. So I think just based on that, I guess, assessment, I'm going to choose one of these chicks here, I think. I haven't really used enough of these guys. Well, that one isn't really bright yellow enough. So you see, it's not as cut and dry as it could be. Alright, I'm going to use one of these chicks. And these chicks are going in the opposite direction from my card. I'm doing a vertical card, so I don't want to use those just because I want them to face this way, and then I will create the visual interest in such a way that it looks like they're all kind of, everything is sort of together, cohesive. This guy's cute. Seems like it's close to the same color family, but that pink isn't quite the right pink on the background of the sticker, so I keep going and see. This blue is nice. This green is perfect. And this guy is just the right color, so I'm going to use him. And I'm going to just grab him off. And I could also incorporate some of these flowers in here. So I'm just going to stick him here towards the bottom. And I think I also want to incorporate some of these little daisy flowers, and it ties in a little bit more of that green, a little bit more of that yellow, that bright yellow, and I don't need to do a lot to clean up, to, you know, get rid of all that empty space, I guess. So I think I'm going to just do that. I got those three. Yeah, I like that. That looks cute. So I'm done with that. And I'm going to put those things away. Now I'm going to glue the little sentiment down onto the mat. Again, I just try to get the outer edges as close to the outer edges as possible. And then I'm just going to try to get it aligned like the same way. Actually, I think it might be this way. No, I think it is this way. Okay, that looks even to me. And it's just ever so slightly kind of off center there. So I'm just gonna trim a little bit off. And it doesn't have to be perfect. I just want it to kind of be even looking. Okay, and now I'm gonna get my glue this back down on the edges. And because this is going to go over the washi too, I'm going to add just one other little thing there. I feel like I should have probably put something to figure out where I was going to put this. So I'm going to just pick this one up. Luckily, it wasn't stuck down that hard. So I think I want to put it right here. And I don't need it to be centered. And actually, I'm noticing here that it's not quite, just ever so slightly off kilter. That's what you get for not using a paper trimmer. But I think it'll look fine. So I think I'm going to leave it here and just glue it down. And then I'm going to go ahead and reattach my, now that I'm looking at it, I think I want to just kind of put this guy slightly closer there. Move this one down here a little bit further in the corner. And then I'm going to move this one just ever so slightly up here. So just a little bit more spaced out and a little more visual interest. So that's all I need to do. It's done. The card is done. I don't need to do anything else. I can just sign it. But I do want to add one little bit of decorative element, and that is I'm going to put some glitter in the center of these yellow flowers, just a tiny dot. I'm going to put a little bit on this little chick's heart, and it doesn't take much to get just that extra little sparkle. And then I do want to just kind of add some dots all around, kind of like confetti. So it doesn't need to be like a crazy amount, just kind of adding some visual interest to this and filling up that white space. And that's all I really need to do. One of the things I do like to do is add like a 3 dots type of thing, just to kind of tie in my card, my sentiment, my stamped area. So I'm just going to do that because that's kind of like my, I don't know, signature. You can see I did that on these ones as well. So that's it. It's very similar looking, and the bunny doesn't need a bunny, right? It doesn't need to have a bunny on it to be Easter themed, but that's it. That's all I needed to do to create an Easter themed card. And I could do these assembly line style and just do, 5, 10, 20, however many sheets of cardstock. From one 12 by 12 piece of paper, I could get 6 of these 4 by 5.5 or 4 by 5.25 sheets, and each of those, if I cut in half, I can make 2 cards. And then I also get the 2 extra little strips that are, I don't know what that is, like 1.5 inches wide. Those, if I cut those in, it's an 11-inch strip, or a 12-inch strip at the bottom. Usually that is going to give me 2 more that are 1.5 inches by 5.25, and then I have a little tiny kind of square of paper left. So that right there is like 14 cards. And then you have your stickers. These stickers, pretty sure I picked up at Michael's, and it's like under $2 for a sheet of stickers. Sometimes they're on sale at the end of the season, so I can stock up on things like at the end of Easter, after Easter's passed, or whatever, and then I just kind of stash them for next year if you have the room for that. But that's a really simple and easy way to make a card. The only other thing that I have that costs a little bit of money is this washi tape. I'm pretty sure I got this at Target. I want to say this Scotch washi is $2 or $3 usually, around $3 for the glitter washi, and it's thick. And you could even cut this, in half widthwise to make a slightly thinner strip. And then the stickles, I think these are usually $5 or $6, and a little goes a long way. Like you see, I didn't use a ton of it, and it lasts a really long time. The dot adhesive runner, I think this usually runs me, I don't know, $6 or $7 for a pack of 3. I could be wrong on that, but I'll put the link in the description box if you're interested in checking it out. And I almost always get my supplies on sale with a coupon. The other tool that I was using is these scissors. These are Fiskars brand scissors for detail work, and I barely even used it. I just used it to cut. You don't need to use this type of scissor. You could use any type of paper, scissors, or any type of, generic crafting scissors. Oh, I just stuck my hand in that glitter. That was smart. But that's really it. You don't need to do a lot to get a cute looking card. I think it's more about just using what you have, having a layout, having a plan. Planning your layout before you glue everything down is probably smarter than just kind of winging it like I was doing. But usually I don't have a problem being able to peel up my, stickers before they've really gotten glued down and are unable to be removed. And even the washi, if I need to reposition it, I can before I glue that sentiment down on top of it. So hope you've enjoyed this really easy and quick card. It's a cute looking card. You could do this with any type of paper. You could do it for a birthday. You could do it for Christmas cards. And it's a really nice way of creating a card that's simple yet elegant. There's plenty of white space in there, but it's not boring either. And it doesn't require a lot of tools. You don't even need to have a stamp. You could just use a sticker and then put a little border around it. So there's plenty of things that you could do, or you could print it out on your computer printer onto a piece of cardstock and cut it down and then put it onto a back piece of paper. So I hope you've enjoyed that little step-by-step that I went through with you. And if you have any questions, leave me a comment. Thank you. I hope you'll like and subscribe if you're interested in seeing more content. Thank you. Bye.